Many people have been asking for the last year, where is GTA 6? Some people say that it'll come out in 2023, which is fairly believable in my opinion. Some say 2024, which is also pretty believable. But before I talk about any of those rumors, the folks over at ROCKSTAR gave some news for us today. Before I talk about the next installment in the world-renowned Grand Theft Auto franchise, I want to take some time to talk about the last installment that was released 8 years ago. It's going to be 9 years old this year, Grand Theft Auto 5. And as many people know, GTA 5 has been released on the last 2 generations of console. Yeah, the last 2. Xbox 360/PS3, Xbox One/PS4, and PC. And the PC edition actually did release with the Xbox One and PS4 version of the game. And there have been many statements in the past few months about the enhanced version of GTA 5, and those statements came from ROCKSTAR and Take-Two Interactive. And yes, GTA 5 is coming out on its 3rd console generation. None of you heard that sentence wrong. And in the past few months, in the reports, it said that the enhanced edition would be released in March of this year. However, a Newswire report from ROCKSTAR confirmed the release date. According to the website, GTA 5 and GTA Online will come to the PS5 and Xbox Series X/S platforms this March 15th, bringing the blockbuster open-world experience to players on the latest hardware. And obviously, it's coming out in mid-March, as I just said. However, that is not all ROCKSTAR announced. GTA 5 and GTA Online for the new consoles will feature new graphics modes with up to 4K resolution, up to 60 frames per second, upgrades in texture and draw distance, HDR options, and ray tracing, as well as offering the technical advancements of the latest console generation with faster loading times, immersive 3D audio, platform-specific features such as enhanced haptic feedback, and a lot more. Wow, that was a mouthful. And the first sentence I just said is basically fancy talk for much improved, much better graphics on the new consoles. The resolution will be up to 4K at 60. Now, I don't know if it's a lock at 4K 60 or if it's adaptive. I am going to talk about the difference in a second. I would personally prefer an adaptive 4K 60 setup because if it's a 4K 60 lock, it'll always aim to be at 4K 60. And if you're driving in, say, the Fort Sapolito Bay, which is a very CPU and GPU intense area, it's gonna tank, it's gonna cause some bottlenecking issues, and it won't reach 4K 60. Which is obviously a problem, a huge problem. If you guys are PC players, you know what bottlenecking is. That is definitely something that I would consider. It's gonna be adaptive in my opinion, because if you're driving in a CPU GPU intense area, it'll drop down to 1080p but maintain that frame rate, maybe even keep the same resolution but drop the frame rate. I personally don't know what ROCKSTAR has in mind. Maybe the hardware is powerful enough to handle 4K 60 without any bottlenecking issues, but who knows, maybe it's not going to be fully optimized at launch and the optimization will come as the updates come out. And aside from that, there is stuff like an upgrade to the texture and draw distance, meaning that if you're standing on the top of Mount Chiliad and you're looking south, you're looking at the skyline, you're definitely going to have a much better view of what the skyline looks like on PS5 and Xbox Series X/S than if you were on PS4 and Xbox One. PC players, it doesn't really matter because they've had this kind of stuff ever since the game released for them back in 2014. And obviously they're going to have HDR, which is high dynamic range, so you have the clouds stand out better, the color correction is a lot better, the colors stand out, contrast, stuff like that. And arguably the biggest addition to console is something called ray tracing. Now, ray tracing has been in games on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, but it's new to GTA 5. So this basically emulates the way light actually works in real life. So the shadows are actually gonna be how shadows were, as if the sun was actually shining on the person, and the reflections are gonna be much more realistic. You're gonna have obviously the car, the rear view mirrors, stuff like that. Those are gonna be actually reflective instead of just the crap that they have on now, and so on and so forth. These additions are merely breaking the surface of the water. Now, there are some improvements that ROCKSTAR actually announced that they will make to the online part of the game. And these updates are mostly stuff related to the biker, executive, nightclub, and gunner updates that came out a while ago. And actually, you will get some sort of startup fund to help build the business, similar to the way investors work in real life. I don't know if those investors are going to take a share of your business. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be that realistic, but this aspect of realism is really cool since the graphics are going to be much more realistic than the previous consoles were. And this money, according to ROCKSTAR, will help players to buy a property and purchasing high-end vehicles so the business can get started. And if you wanted to, if you already own a business, you can even restart and take advantage of the career builder at any time. That's what Rockstar is calling this, the career builder. And finally, there's actually a new special works auto shop run by HOW. Yes, I'm talking about the HOW from the story. I think that's a really cool addition. They're bringing stuff from the story over to online. They've obviously done that before with the characters and stuff like that. And this upgrade is mostly meant for players to upgrade their vehicles. As it stands of right now, according to Rockstar's Newswire, there are going to be 5 new vehicles that are upgradable and 5 existing vehicles that will be upgradable at launch. And I don't know what the vehicles are. Rockstar didn't announce them. They could announce them tomorrow. They could announce them next week. They could announce the vehicles the day before launch. We may have to wait until launch. I personally don't know. And this is meant to take full advantage of the new hardware with the addition of elite driving performance. So I guess it's more to emulate how the actual features of driving a car works in real life. And this is actually not all that Rockstar announced. I will talk about that in just a second. Despite all of these updates and all of this stuff, you may think that this is all Rockstar had to announce. However, it is definitely not all that Rockstar announced on their Newswire. This piece of news shouldn't really come as a surprise to many fans, but hearing it from the very company themselves makes the piece of news all the more better nonetheless. In the very same Newswire as I was talking about, Rockstar confirmed that they are well underway in terms of the development of the next installment in the Grand Theft Auto franchise. And they also said that they will provide more updates as time goes on. And as of right now, I don't know anything about this game. Nobody really knows anything about this game. All we can go off of is just thoughts, rumors, and stuff like that. It could very well be Grand Theft Auto 6. I think that's most likely the option that's the most thought out option. It could very well be Grand Theft Auto Windy City. It could be played out in Chicago for all we know. And I don't really know what they mean by well underway either. They could just be masking it to say that they just broke the ice on the development and they're just getting started. They could mean that the story has been fully written and that the online part of the game's development has just started. Or they could be completely done with the game and they could release it this year. Obviously, Rockstar has been very, very airtight about this, and it goes both ways. It could be bad because fans want to know more, I want to know more. But I think it's more good than it is bad because it increases the excitement for when the game teases and when the game launches. People won't know anything about it. They'll see the new features. They'll be able to try it out and see that, oh my god, this is a new feature. We didn't see this in the teaser. We didn't see this at all. This is definitely amazing. I can't wait to play this. And obviously, these updates from Rockstar are absolutely huge. I personally think the updates are really cool, and while the foundation of the game is still the same, obviously you're gonna be able to drive around, be able to fly a plane, all the cool stuff. The mechanics themselves stay the same. The updated graphics, the investor sort of stuff, it's all really intriguing, and it's much more related to real life games. And I hope they add some more stuff to make it actually feel like you're playing in Los Angeles and Santa Monica instead of just playing in some video game simulator that's based off of a real life city. And I'm super excited for this enhanced edition, don't get me wrong. And there may be some new stuff that Rockstar could add to the game that nobody even knows about. And despite this excitement, I'm way too excited. I'm even more excited for the new GTA installment. I certainly hope that there is some sort of teaser or reveal later without too much information because they want to keep it exciting. I hope they release that later this year, and with the time they're taking on this game better not disappoint. I'm gonna riot Rockstar and Take-Two over in New York. If your next GTA sucks, I'm coming over there. People are coming with me. We're gonna riot. But now that I said what I want to know what you guys think. Will Rockstar add some more stuff to the Enhanced Edition and make it even better at launch? And will Rockstar actually tease their new GTA in the coming months? If you want to see me make a video on what I would like to see in the new GTA, be it GTA 6, whatever the hell I just said a couple of minutes ago, let me know down in the comments below, and smash the like button so I know you guys want to see me make that video. And lastly, don't forget to smash the sub button so you guys don't miss future videos of mine, and so you guys can be part of the Stu Crew, my fan group. Thanks so much for the support, and thank you all so much for watching the video. This is Stu Crew signing off. Peace out.